back to the podcast, right?
Yeah, that's what you want to say.
We have our buddy on here, Andrea.
Yeah.
She has over 100,000 TikTok followers. That's where we found her at, doing a little TikTok.
Yeah.
And I watched one TikTok before I asked her if she wanted to be on our podcast.
I know.
So
10 hours away.
We traveled about 10 hours to get there. And here she is. You give yourself tags on your TikTok. So without those tags, I want to know how you introduce yourself.
It's so difficult. I've been thinking about it for like 24 hours. I even asked my sister. I was like, how do I do this? She's a marketing genius, so she was helping. So I'm Andrea. Hey, hi. I have 100,000 TikTok followers. I don't really consider that my identity. It's super weird. I used to make fun of social media influencers. Here I am.
Yeah.
I've worked in the entertainment industry for 8 years, so I had a successful career. I'm a mom. And I like Jesus is my homeboy, and I like guns, money, and freedom.
Yeah, every red-blooded American can relate to that to some degree. I mean, I feel like
Yeah, I think so.
money, we all want to have a little bit of that. We all want freedom, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter which side of the aisle you're on. You should want freedom, right?
Jeez, thanks.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like
The freedom is different to everybody too. So.
that's right. That's
Right.
that's the argument.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the argument
Yeah.
for everybody is what is those freedoms. But everybody just wants to be free. They want to be able to do their own thing and enjoy their life, right? So now introduce yourself with all of your tags.
Oh, shoot. How do I go backwards? Okay. Hi, I'm Andrea. I live for donuts on TikTok. My TikTok tag is conservative, petty, and proud. I like women quite a bit. I'm conservative and I speak out against atrocities in the gay community. So I went viral for speaking out against pride events, grooming in the gay community, and just in general being a conservative Christian and a gay person.
Over 2 million views on one of your, it was actually the TikTok that I seen.
Yeah.
Has over 2 million views now.
Yeah.
And that was the one that I was like, I like her, you know,
Yeah.
like I'm going to hit her up.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
pretty neat. It's pretty awesome.
And I actually asked him first, was like, hey, what do you think about having her on? You know, he was like, I don't care, dude. It's fine. So we hit you up and you answered without even knowing who I was, where,
Yeah.
what we were doing, what we were all about, where we were from.
We could have been gay serial killers.
I know.
I mean, really, if you listen to my
You know what
community,
I'm
yeah.
And she was just like, yep, we're doing it. I love it. I can't wait to do the podcast,
Yeah.
you know, so
I was like, well, you're coming here for real? Like, you want to go? Okay. Yeah, let's go fishing, man.
Yeah.
Let's be friends. And I looked at your stuff after I said
Yeah.
yes.
yeah. So you could, oh, you know what? I'm not going to be, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
You can kind of relate to a lot of people across a broad spectrum of people. So who would you say is the most accepting of who you are? Like conservatives, gay people, whoever. You feel
Conservative Christians, 100%.
really?
I have the odd number of Christians, tell me that I might be going to hell for being gay, but that's an odd number. Out of
Yeah.
thousands of comments that I get on a daily basis and thousands of followers, conservative people are coming to me saying, oh, like you're not one of those gay people. You're cool. We can get with that. You're not pushing an agenda.
Yeah.
But it's liberals in the gay community, which is what sparked my channel in the first place,
Yeah.
that are excluding me. And I was excluded from dating, from events in the gay community, from that entire part of, I guess, my identity,
Yeah.
which pushed me to make the TikTok, and then further pushed me to see, when all these comments are in the open, that liberals and gay people are the ones that won't accept that I'm a Christian conservative.
Yeah.
But Christian conservatives accept that I'm gay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I feel like that's the way it would be, but I wasn't sure. I mean, I do know a lot of Christian conservatives who wouldn't accept, but most would, I believe. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't feel like anybody, I mean, we know people that would not accept
Yeah.
that, obviously, but we also know people that would be just fine with that.
Yeah.
No.
I think it's awesome. Just being you, you know what I'm saying? That's what the world needs, is people to be who they are
Yeah.
without
Do
caring what
makes you
everybody
happy.
thinks about them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it should be.
And I get accused of pushing some conservative agenda and like I'm like, y'all, this stuff is hard. Like, it's not easy. If
Yeah.
I wanted to go with the flow, not have my life threatened, not be doxxed on the internet, not have haters, I would go with the flow. I'd be like, I'll just be a Democrat. I'll just keep my head down. Like, it's not easy to be a Christian, no matter what your gender identity, sexuality is in this country. Being a Christian is hard now. Like, Christians are the ones that are really being kind of oppressed.
I agree with that too,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Now we don't ever hardly get into politics when we get on our podcast. Okay, something that we don't do. We don't ever speak our opinion about our political views. We just something we agreed to.
Yeah.
Starting off, but for you to talk about your political views and your religious views and your point of view on everything is completely fine with us, right? So feel free to express yourself
Fully.
however
that.
you want to, 110%. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I feel like you're eyeballing me. Like, I'm gonna give you the green light. Like,
I
I've
got
heard
you.
what you've been saying all day, bro, and I need you to put it out there.
That's kind of what I'm going with here.
Yeah, I heard some good stuff today, and I was thinking, I hope we can remember this stuff, like
Yeah, I
what
know.
we're talking about later.
I
There's a
wish,
lot
I
of
wish
stuff.
we could have mocked ourselves up all day.
We
That
really
would've
should
been
do
great.
that sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be it was a lot more interesting
Yeah.
before. We had a good day though.
Yeah, it was fun.
We had fun. Kind of caught into some rain there and put
Yeah.
a damper on our day for a few minutes, but
She tried to teach me how to, what's it called?
Skimboard.
Skimboard. I about broke my neck.
It's great.
yeah,
I caught
you
some
went-
great
you
waves
went
though.
down hard. so-
Yeah, I did.
Waves
Yeah.
are good for me.
Yeah,
It was cool. I mean, I think I could do it, but it's just it's different
it's
Mhm.
different than skateboarding.
because it don't go straight. That mug goes sideways, straight.
Oh yeah.
It go
Yeah.
whatever direction. Yeah, you
I
push
got
it.
sand all in my ass.
Well, and if you hit a patch of sand, unlike concrete, you're pretty good. You hit a patch of sand on a skimboard, you're flying off. If you hit too deep of water, you're sinking. And then it's all about timing the wave, hitting your foot in the right spot, and getting
Yeah.
it going. Like, it's a speed thing.
So, back to the political stuff. You were telling us about.
Dad just yelled at us over here. Dad was like, "Hey kids, we're getting to business."
You were telling us about the Jonah Hill thing,
Mm-hmm.
and had a little insight on that, which I looked at it a little bit, but I didn't read too far into it because I was just riding in the back seat of a car when you told me about it. So what is that all about? Explain it to everybody and kind of give your point of view on it.
So Jonah Hill's ex-girlfriend has come out, and from my understanding, it's like a year or two after their breakup. I could be wrong, and released text messages from him that she says are misogynistic and emotionally abusive. And in short, what Jonah said, and the texts are all online, was you like to do these things. You like to pose in a bikini. You like to surf with men. Specifically, have boundaryless friendships with men. You like to hang out with women that have to do with your reckless past, even your recent reckless past. And if you don't wish to change those things about you, I don't wish to be your partner. However, I'm very happy for you, and there's nothing wrong with the way you live your life, and I want you to be happy. So he really just set a boundary and said, this is the kind of partner I'm looking for, and I thought you were, and I don't wish to change you in any way or tell you you can't do these things, but I'm going to keep looking for my person, and you're going to find yours who's okay and aligns with your values. And she took that and said that it was controlling and misogynistic.
That's great.
It is crazy.
I get it all the time in dating.
You
It just
do.
basically means she ain't ready to settle down. I mean, really.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and he is. I think
Yeah.
he's looking for a wife.
Yeah.
And we talked about that today. There's a difference between wife material and
For sure.
somebody that you're just gonna hang out with for right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then he's getting blasted for it though. There's a lot of
Mhm.
people saying that, hey, you're just a misogynistic pig because of that.
Feminists are saying, and I've had people say this to me, women say this to me, well, you can't tell a woman what to wear. That's controlling. He didn't say, hey, don't wear these things. He said, hey, that's not what I want in my relationship. Feel free to wear those things. Feel free to do that.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to do it without me. That's a difference. If you were controlling someone, you would
You
give
would
them an
say,
ultimatum
"Don't-
and say,
You're not putting
don't
that
do
on,
this."
bro.
Exactly.
You're not wearing that.
It's
Skank.
different. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna- Yes.
Some people don't want to go out in town with their wife, and every man just like wanting to bend them over the table.
Like lust
You
and
know what I'm
after him
saying?
the whole time.
So
yeah.
that's where that's coming from, really.
I think so. A lot of that is that.
And if she respected him at all, she would have said, okay. If she loved him, I feel like she would have been like, okay,
Yeah, that's
You know?
fine. Whatever.
I think it doesn't even like that's unfortunately when you bring those things onto the table, people then say, well, that's still an ultimatum, that's whatever. I think the bigger picture is that she might have respected and loved him very much, but they were different people. They
Yeah.
had fundamental issues and value issues. And what I say all the time is that the expectation on men is going up while the quality in women is going down. And Ben Shapiro just stitched a video where they went out and asked a bunch of women, like, how tall do you want a partner to be? Well, 6 foot. What do you realize? Only like 1.4% of men are 6 foot.
Yeah.
How much do you want him to make a year? 200,000. Do you realize what small population that is? Like,
of Americans that make her.
and they expect and they expect and they expect, but they're not acting like wives while they're actively looking for a husband with all of these qualities.
Yeah, I feel like most of our viewers are men.
They are like 90%.
Yeah, 90% of our viewers are men, so they're gonna love that. But at the same time, we're not talking negatively about women. All three of us love them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So much.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're not trying to speak negatively about women.
No.
It's a
in
society
general.
issue. It's a
It's-
value issue across the board.
Yeah, it is.
And men lack values too. That can
Yeah.
be said for men.
100% men do lack values. I mean,
Yeah,
morals are at an all-time low
absolutely.
in this country, for sure. I think most of our problems in this country are moral issues and not a matter of what the government needs to do to take care of everything. I don't think any law that a government is going to make right now is not going to solve our situation in this country.
No,
I think it's a moral issue. I think there's more of a moral problem than there is a law problem or a
Absolutely.
law-making problem. So I don't know if that's a conservative view or if it's a Democratic view. I have no idea on that side, but that's just in my head. That's the way I feel about it.
Well, when did we stop taking care of each other? Like when you look back to 9/11, even back to Hurricane Sandy, which was long after, and like even during COVID, there were some amazing things that happened, and we stopped taking care of each other.
Yeah.
We wanted, especially after COVID, the government to babysit and do for us.
Yeah.
And if you see these problems in your community, why aren't you doing something? Why aren't you checking on your neighbor? Why does the government have to step in for you to impose a law for you to be a good person?
100%.
That's good. Yeah.
Back in the 50s and 60s, it was up to churches to take care of their widows.
Yeah.
It wasn't a government
Mhm.
issue that took care of those people. You know, if a woman's husband died, the church would take care of them. And that's kind of gone to the wayside in a lot of
Yeah.
churches. And that thought process has gone away in a lot of in a lot of areas of our lives, really, honestly. Is that something that the media is trying to make happen? As
Yeah.
news media's pushing that, but so that, hey, like I can't go over here and talk to my neighbor. They don't believe the same things I do. You see what I'm saying? Well, they don't believe the same thing as I do, but they still need help.
Yeah.
They still need something. They still need whatever,
Mm-hmm.
right? So is that part of the issue?
Absolutely.
Is that part of the separation? Do you feel like feel
Probably.
like?
Yeah.
How do you feel about media as a whole?
Media as a whole. So I was homeschooled for high school. And when I was only for high school,
My
and when I
twin
was-
sister, bro.
I swear, like,
What the hell?
and when I was homeschooled, that's so crazy. You were homeschooled too?
In high school, yes.
Bro, do we have the same mom? Do you have mommy issues?
No, I know.
Damn.
Daddy issues, maybe.
Bro,
I'm just kidding.
you might want to adopt me? Like, we'll talk. You're my stepbrother.
Y'all are the same people, man.
That's kind of
It's so weird.
So when I was homeschooled, I had to do a lot of research on my own, which was great. It was a great asset, and it helped me later in life. Contrary to what people on the internet believe about me, when I go back on the media track to research something and a new law has been passed, or I hear a rumor or some off the wall thing, I go to CNN, I go to Fox, I go to CSNBC, I go to an independent media source, and then I look at, okay, every one of these articles is telling the same story, and each one kind of has their own opinion. You can see that in the tagline.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, you could say Fox News says Governor DeSantis just saved 12 kittens from a fire, and then CNN says Governor DeSantis threw kittens into a fire, then pretended to save them today. Or Governor DeSantis saved 12 kittens but forgot about the turtles.
Right.
Yeah.
So the media is biased no matter
Yeah, they are.
what source, and you have to be an independent thinker, and you have to live in the world and experience things and experience people of different viewpoints
100%.
to get their perspective.
Yeah.
And to be able to watch the news and actually draw out of it what probably ended up really happening. You have to divide the lines.
You need to do your own research. You can't just go by what everybody says.
No, you can't look at two or three TikToks and go, bro, did you hear about Governor DeSantis? He threw kittens in the fire.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go off on my favorite spin because it's just the one that is just the nail in the coffin every time. And a prime example of this, don't say gay bill. Y'all, if you ask 100 people, what is the Parental Rights and Education Act? And I've done polls on this at Pride events. Well, I don't know. Why do you feel about it? Oh, it's none of my business. How do you feel about the Don't Say Gay bill? Oh, and they super strong opinions. Did you know the Don't Say Gay bill is actually the Parental Rights and Education Act? Don't Say Gay was a thing the media coined that is not in the bill. Did you know the Don't Say Gay bill doesn't say gay in the wording one time? And they don't believe me. No, that can't be true.
That's not true, yeah.
One person said, well, I don't know what it says. I mean, I guess we'll never know. We won't be able to read it. And I'm like, here's the link. You can read it. It's a bill. It's
Absolutely
public.
on the internet.
Yeah.
It's not even a media source, man.
Yeah.
It's a government document.
Yeah,
That's it. And
pretty
that's
wild.
the media can spin it.
it's pretty wild.
Yeah, it is.
I've never read that act because it's never been a huge concern where we live. We are
There's
literally
about 500 churches in Cleveland.
the
So, I mean,
Church of God headquarters is there, and it's literally the buckle of the Bible Belt.
So with that many churches in Cleveland, and we can assume that Cleveland is a Christian town. I don't like to use the word religious because people associate religion with structure.
Yeah.
How do people treat each other in Cleveland? What's your crime rate like?
So crimes are going up. We're getting to be a larger city, and I actually just looked this up the other day because we were looking at places to go, places to see, places to move to, maybe.
Yeah.
And
Do Smyrna. You've already been there once. You loved it.
I found a place in Mexico that was like, really cheap to live.
The country?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was looking up the crime rate there because
Oh, yeah, how was that?
it's better than Cleveland's.
Is it really? I'm shocked.
The place was better than Cleveland's crime rate.
You don't even speak Spanish, bro.
But how much
No.
crime gets reported down there? That's, you know
Ugh.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I get that part
Yeah.
of it, but this is mostly a mostly American part of Mexico.
Oh, okay.
It's
That's kind of funny.
mostly connected to that part.
It's like
of-
the Baja California part that goes
Yeah.
down, right? That's
It's
where
actually connected to Baja California. Really,
America is becoming Mexico, and now parts of Mexico are becoming America.
That's right.
All right.
might as well just combine it up.
Combine it
son.
up.
Let 'em in.
Add it up.
I like tamales. Like, hear me out.
it's
dude.
Yeah, dude.
I like Mexican
I
food.
don't.
I
period.
love Mexican
I have my
food.
opinions on immigration, but really, I do want immigrants here because I really like tamales.
Yeah.
Like, what would I do without that street taco place?
Yeah, man. This is America. This is built off immigration. So, I mean,
It is. It is.
just do it the right way, right?
I
Absolutely.
feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to do it the right way, and the reason
Just to be fair with people who are here, you know what I'm saying, doing
Yeah.
what they're supposed to do, taxes and all this.
100%.
Everything needs to be fair across the board, I feel like.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm all for any culture coming across
Yeah,
the border
100%.
as long as they are doing it the right way.
Yeah.
Which honestly, it's really hard to become citizen
Is it?
of America.
I've never looked into it.
So
It's hard and it's expensive.
it's
Yeah.
hard and it's expensive. It's not.
Well, they need to make it easier.
That's what I say, right?
Less
Like,
expensive. I mean, yeah, leave.
exactly.
It's not-
They're coming here for a reason. They're not coming here because they're rich, bro.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it is really difficult. That's why so many of them are coming over here illegally, is
Wow.
because it's expensive and it's hard.
But once they've been here 20 years, and I've heard stories that, oh, he's owned a business, he's so
Yeah.
successful.
Yeah.
Well, if he's successful and he's been here 20 years, I mean, I feel like, me personally, I mean, I've come out of my own struggles, and y'all saw where I live and how I'm struggling to build a house. Like, And I'm doing that my damn self. So it's not easy, but that's the American dream. No one ever promised the American dream would be easy. Can we ease the process a little? Absolutely. But if you've been here 20 years, man, you've had the same resources as other people.
That's true.
What's your excuse at this point?
That's true. Yeah. If you're getting deported after you've been here for 20 years, kind of you're bad right there.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
you had
It's
time.
kinda
I mean,
your
that would
bad.
suck bad.
Yeah.
but
It would suck
At
bad.
at that point, you feel like this is your home. You know.
I know you would.
Probably.
Yeah, 20 years here. Yeah.
Well,
you're
and kids
definitely
too. And yeah, that's
Yeah.
the terrible thing is that the kids get, caught in the shuffle. And I think,
gonna- Oh yeah, I hate that.
and that's terrible. And we should do something
It
to
is.
protect children. Absolutely. So it's an overall issue. But again, it goes back to taking care of each other. What can we do as Americans where they don't have to impose a law to, like, I don't know, help your immigrant buddy learn the language.
Yeah.
Help your immigrant buddy integrate. Ask him if he needs a hand. Pray for him. There's so many things we can do as people that the government doesn't have to be involved in.
It's good stuff, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Why do I
is.
need the government to tell me to go check on my neighbor?
100%. It's good stuff.
Yeah, it is.
That's deep thinking right
Yeah,
there.
it is. I mean, it's,
So how's it going? How do you think it's going so far?
I feel good. Just
How
I'm
long's it
not
been?
looking this direction. I'm not twitching at all. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
Like, twitchy
Huh?
motherfucker.
okay.
Wait, how old are you?
35.
Dude, I swear. You could be my brother. I'm almost 30. Don't you have blue eyes too? Are you
Yeah.
Irish?
I have no idea.
I'm
to be honest
Irish.
with
Are you a Scorpio?
I'm born in August. I don't know about that shit. Virgo, I think.
August? Ooh, I don't know.
August 24th.
My son's a Gemini. He's June.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not June 8th, is it?
No, June 4th.
I was born June 8th.
Please tell me I'm not the only one that has to think about my kid's birthday and I only have one.
I struggle with it.
I have 5 of them, and I can
I'm
I have to-
uh.
like.
I thought it was.
Like I have to think about it.
I never really
With
understood
mine.
why people. I mean, is that really how people go?
Zodiac signs?
Yeah.
Ugh, that's another gay culture thing, man. I didn't give a shit. And now women, it's like we're in the 70s and they're like, oh, what's your zodiac? And like I had one bad experience with a Gemini. And I started to be like, hang on. Okay, because like Scorpios, this is what kills me about Scorpios, because they say, like, oh, are you a secretive Scorpio? And I've dated some Scorpios, and y'all already know, like, I put it on the table. Like, it's out there.
Yeah.
And so many Scorpios that I've met have every quality I do, like emotionally intelligent, emotionally intense, kind of brooding, like very charming, but they're secretive to the point that, like, hey, what'd you do today? And they're just like, just like elusive, and they're not even lying necessarily. They're just elusive motherfuckers.
Yeah, bro. That's weird.
I'm not that kind of Scorpio, But the sexual
Brittany's-
energy for Scorpios
Wonder
is insane. Like, for real, that's a real thing. But Scorpios get along really well with Aries. And when I am compatible with someone, like, you might be an Aries. That would make sense. And we just gel really well as friends, Aries. I don't think I've never dated an Aries, but best friends, always.
Yeah.
And I'm weird. I'm compatible with Gemini, but we fight like a mother. Like,
Really?
Because
I
headstrong,
feel like if we
man.
hung out a long time, that we would start to like not fight, but like
It's a power
joke
struggle.
around, probably joke around with each other. a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
more,
We both
but
have dominant energy a little bit, even though
I
like,
don't feel like I'm dominant at all, bro.
but like you're the one that like I go to like make the decisions for this group, and like what's your group want to
What
do,
are you gonna
and
do
like
now? You're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
How many times did you see me going like this though? Like,
we
Yeah,
both like to be the center of attention, so we
What
just
do you
kind of
wanna do?
bounce,
I don't feel like
I don't like to
I
be
like
the
to
center
be
of
in a
attention.
group,
I just
I like to be
happen
in a
to be.
group setting.
You know,
and I'm the most
we're electric.
outspoken,
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
outgoing. and-
outgoing.
We're electric
Yeah.
personalities. That's
Yeah.
what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
that's true, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not like I don't know. It's
You
not
don't like
a-
desire that?
that what?
Like you ain't sitting in bed thinking, I need some more attention.
No.
No, and that's terrible because people say that about me. That's totally not what I mean. 'Cause,
Yeah.
oh, you like to be the center. I'm like, no, it just happens that way.
Yeah.
Because I'm not afraid to be. I'm just like, hey, what's up? Like, I'll
Yeah.
jump into any group of people. Like that girl earlier, I was about to be like, hey, hi, what you doing?
No.
Come
No.
here.
Yeah.
This truck is still out there. Too,
Yeah.
Yo.
So earlier today,
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
we saw a couple fighting, and Andrea thought it'd be a good idea to make a TikTok.
Yeah.
And it's pretty hilarious. Go check that out.
Brenda,
We can put it on the podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
that'd be a good one to put on there.
Yeah, just because we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Listen, that lady was too pretty to be crying over that dude. And looks aren't everything. But sometimes
we get that, but sometimes it's just
like, ladies, you can do better. And because I've dated men before, I can be like, I have been you. Stop it. Just stop. He's not worth it.
Yeah.
Just go eat some chocolate, hang out with your friends, get on Tinder. You're gonna be okay.
You're gonna make it. Ashley, don't listen to none of this. You cannot do better.
I said that when we saw them. I said, y'all have some attractive husbands. And I'd say if they were funny looking as a gay person, I can be like, those are attractive dudes. Like, yeah, they're handsome. I'm like, that dude on the beach? No. Like,
Yeah.
she wasn't out of your league. She was out of his league.
Yeah.
Out of our league.
Yeah.
If y'all don't know, because they've seen your wives on the podcast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, both of these motherfuckers are some hot wives. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
Like, can we just appreciate the wives for a minute?
Yeah, we can. I appreciate them. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I'm gonna appreciate them again later.
And on a serious note, like, it shows in everything you guys do, and like, you make it work. And you said that you were best friends, and those are the values in the relationships that people aren't having anymore.
So we're getting into dating in your culture a little bit here.
Yeah.
So I know nothing about that.
Yeah.
I know nothing about dating, the environment, how that goes down, how it feels. What does a first date look like?
Start by trying to, like, how do you find people? Really, that's
Yeah, and
because
then
you can see a lot of people could be gay or whatever, but you don't know necessarily.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. You have no idea.
Yeah.
A lot of women, like, I guess, go to gay clubs, go to pride events, go to community events. They don't want me at community events. Figured that out. So they don't really like to have me there. 100%. I'm telling you, like, online groups and things, and they find out I'm not a Democrat. They're like, no, we don't want you here anymore. So that's difficult
crazy.
for me. In public, I will flirt with girls sometimes. I'm actually like very.
Sometimes will.
Wow. Okay, like 3 times.
Hold on though. Sometimes though. Come on now.
Like 3 or 4 times today. That reminds me of that TikTok. Like, oh, you used to be a hoe back in the day, like 2 hours ago. Yeah.
2 hours ago. Yeah.
But I'm looking for a wife. I'm wife shopping. I take that very seriously. So I date very quickly. I don't have a ton of girlfriends, but I have girls that I date and shuffle through. We've been dating, getting to know each other for a couple weeks or even a couple days. And you're not wife material, or I'm not what you're looking for, shuffling through, because I'm trying to find that partner. So where I find dates really, TikTok, which is terrible, but they're all
if it works, it works. If it works,
right?
it works.
They're all in one place,
Yeah.
and they're out there, and I can see their videos, and
You can kind of get an idea of what they're about.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then as far as, and this was like a funny question, how first date as a lesbian? We don't have first dates. We have a date, and then we spend the next 4 days to 1 week together, and then someone buys a U-Haul.
Somebody buys a U-Haul.
Yeah, that's a whole
Somebody's
thing.
renting a U-Haul next. Huh?
My first date with a woman ever lasted 4 days.
Oh,
I've heard that too, man. They move in quick together. I've heard that.
really?
Yeah. The girl I used to work with said the same thing.
So did you avoid that? Do you avoid that?
U-hauling?
Yeah.
Like, there's a verb for it, U-hauling. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so are you trying to avoid that type of situation? Or is that something that you personally avoid? Does that make it even harder?
Absolutely. I'm wife shopping, and because of that, I want to get my house in order. And to get my house in order, I want to bring something to the table for a partner, and I don't have that currently. So while I'm willing to date and I want a serious girlfriend and eventually a wife, I want to have my house and my things and be a partner and be able to provide first. So not having my house in order quite yet, I'm not going to move in with somebody else. And I'm building a tiny house. So I always say that even if I were to move in with someone a long time after being their girlfriend, I want my tiny house to be on their property, right? Because hear me out, guys, because you said you'd have a tiny house, never sleep on the couch again. Huh?
Yeah,
You're mad at me? I'm going to my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to the backyard and I'm taking my dog with me.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Me and the dog are going out here to sleep at the house.
Yeah. No girls allowed, bro. Woman Haters Club from what movie? Little Rascals.
Little Rascals, yeah.
Yeah. But it also
He-Man,
frees
Woman
you
Haters
from
Club.
things, right? Because I've been through 2 divorces from men. And I want to know that I'm with someone for the right reasons, not obligated because we have a home together and where's somebody going to go and who's going to split. I have mine, you have yours. We have a joint bank account and separates. We're good.
You got it all planned out. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and
Unless you know what you want, right?
Yeah, an idea of what you want at least.
Yeah.
That's a big step in it. And I never sat down and said I got married at 19. So before I got married that time, I never sat down and put out, I want this. I needed to be like this. I needed to be, X, Y, Z. I didn't lay any of that stuff out.
Yeah.
And so that marriage was rough for a long time. You know what I'm saying? We were married for 10 years.
Yeah.
But it was tough to make everything work, So the second time after I got divorced from her, I did set forth standards that I had for myself.
Yeah.
And this go around's been much better.
We have to say that she's in the room.
I don't have to say that. I could say
she knows where you sleep, and her biceps are bigger than yours.
Yeah, I could definitely say it's been tough or whatever, but for the most part,
overall,
it's been pretty good.
It's never going to be perfect.
Nobody's marriage is perfect.
It's work, no matter what.
It is.
It really is.
Yeah.
And what I love about watching you guys is that you genuinely have fun together. It's a group of friends.
Oh yeah.
And if I didn't know they were your wives, I'd be like, wow, these people are just best friends.
Yeah.
And that's where it starts.
They're just hanging out together. They're just having a good time. That's all they care about. Yeah.
But on your note of having boxes to check, I think everyone has that. And the problem that I have that people don't think about in modern dating, TikTok's 15 seconds, maybe a minute. Now they're up to 3 minutes, but it's very quick. Scroll, 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 scroll. I'm willing to take some of my boxes and say, this is what I can compromise on and this is what I can't. But most people now say me, what I want. And if you, like Jonah Hill, want to say, hey, can we compromise on these few things? I'm just going to keep scrolling. And I'm going to find somebody else that meets those boxes. And when they have the same concerns with me, I'm going to scroll again. And everything is now. And there's no time, patience, and compromise.
Yeah. It would be so tough to be dating right now.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
So, yeah, if you're looking for a wife in this generation, it would be tough. If you're actually serious about being in a serious relationship and wanting that long-term commitment, it would be it's easy to find a hookup.
Oh yeah.
Because you're on social media and everything is now.
Yeah.
Well, you'll do for now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for now.
For now. You'll be fine for now, but
the amount of women that say, I want to date but not be your girlfriend. And I'm like, what is this? So I have a very strict timeline and it puts girls off like crazy. We're going to date, get to know each other. You're not my girlfriend. We're maybe exploring other options. Dating is going on maybe 1 date a week, a couple dates a month for a max of 1 month. And then if you're in a different state, that's fine. Somebody's getting on a plane after 30 days. And within a week, getting on the plane and meeting face to face, spending a week together, I'm either going to leave as your girlfriend or leave as nothing.
Right.
Well, that's crazy. You're not respecting my boundary. And how can I know? We spent a week together. We met face to face. I'm not doing this forever dating phase because what they want to do is let's date and not commit. And then I have no ties to you because you're not my girlfriend. You can't control me.
And I live in another state. And
then,
now
okay,
I don't
well,
have to feel bad about whatever I'm doing behind your back.
I scrolled on somebody else. And now after you investing 6 weeks into me and kind of starting to get emotionally attached and thinking about a future, I'm still scrolling because you're not my girlfriend. So I went a different direction. You've been fired.
That's tough.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's happening in a lot of straight relationships right now too. I feel like it's not just, I don't feel like that's just the gay community or lesbian community or whatever. I feel like that's like across the board for everybody. It's so
everybody's just thinking me.
Everybody
that's
is.
all it is, 100%.
Toxically independent.
And that's probably a lot of the problem, a lot of the reason people aren't helping in their community or being that support system for somebody or whatever is because they're only thinking about me.
Yep.
Golly, I would like to say that I don't just think about me.
Yeah, I know. I think I do, really. If I'm being honest, I would like to be able to be that person who, thinks about other people and like try to take care of them, but it's hard sometimes. It don't even cross my mind.
I think the economy plays into that. At least for me, I'm constantly in survival mode and I'm trying to plan my bills a month ahead and get ahead and meet financial goals. And when you're constantly in survival mode, you do have to be a little bit me, my family, our survival. Maybe we're check to check. Maybe we're month to month. How do I have time to think about other people? I'm working. I'm trying to raise a family. I'm meeting my own goals. I don't have time to help you make a come up because I got to fill my fridge before I fill yours so that my family can.
Yeah. And it is tough. It is tough to do that. But I almost feel like I'm that dude. Like I will step up and help people. I feel like I am that dude.
Yeah.
A lot of times I feel like I am.
It's as simple as holding the door open for your elders, taking their cart back inside to all of us for them.
Well, I always do that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's simple. Just thinking outside of yourself in little ways to where you can think, okay,
I'm going to have to be monetary.
I was thinking more of a big scale, I guess.
Not to change the world.
Yeah. I mean, just like if somebody at a party is looking out of place and filling out of place.
Yeah.
I'll be the guy to go sit.
That's the Gemini in you.
I'll go sit down and talk to that person just, to make them feel included. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. I don't know. Maybe it is Gemini, but
here we are, 3 red-blooded Americans, and you know where I align politically, having this conversation about how we really want to help people, right? And I made a TikTok about this, basically putting my wife resume out there. And I said, I hang out with homeless people, and I help turtles cross the road. And liberals came out of the woodwork and said, but you're a conservative, so you're still a bad person. But all the good you do doesn't matter because you're a conservative. Oh, you help turtles cross the road? Well, you vote for a governor who doesn't care about the environment. So there's a portion of people out there, especially in my community, who think no matter who you are as a conservative, you can have the biggest heart in the world, but oh well, you're a conservative. You don't deserve good things.
God,
you're not really
that
a
would
good
suck.
person.
What do you think the biggest difference in conservative and liberal? I mean, like, what are they getting so mad about? Why are you conservative? Why would they even worry about it?
Why are people getting pissed off about political views at all?
Yeah.
Well, me personally, because I'm gay, so I'm allegedly, I'm a TERF. I don't even know what that means. I vote against the interests of my own community. I vote to harm my community according to them. I vote against environmental policies. Anything you can come up with in the world. Why people are upset about politics, it goes back to division. And that's a governmental thing. Divide and conquer. If we're divided, we're not going to ask the big questions. We're not going to say, hey, let's come together and say both parties have some issues because we're too busy poking at each other.
Yeah.
And that's true though. I mean, I feel like I don't agree with necessarily everything the Conservative Party is all about, and I don't necessarily agree with everything that the Democratic Party is all about. And I definitely feel like both of those parties have room to work.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like in the end, it all comes down to we all want freedom and a better life for ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Just because you feel like your freedom is different than somebody else's freedom, shouldn't be an argument or a fight.
Yeah. If it's not hurting anybody, I feel like it should just do it.
Political parties have become like sports teams. I want my guy to win. No, I want my guy to win.
100%.
And that's ridiculous.
It's insane.
Yeah, I used to work with a Democrat. He always votes Democrat no matter what, right?
Yeah.
But you talk to him on a personal level and get to know exactly how he actually thinks, and it lines up.
It's not that far from you.
It lines up with where you are, but he will vote.
Mm-hmm.
Democrat,
also, what sparked
100%.
my TikTok rant, because I was just coming off of a talking phase with a woman who I really aligned with, was talking about getting on a plane to see me and said, well, I don't know, tickets to Florida should be free. No one wants to be there. And I said, I do.
I love Florida.
I do too.
And she said,
One of my favorite states to be in, bro.
Well, why? Don't you know they hate us? And I was like, no, they don't. By the way, I voted for, I'll support DeSantis. And she was done, right? She was like, oh, no, I don't want to fly to see you. Can you explain your political beliefs to me? So I did. And she said, well, I agree with everything you're saying. I said, great. So all of our values align. So you're going to come see me? We're going to go on a date? No, I mean, our values align. You're right. But it's a humanitarian issue. You vote Republican, so I can't be with you.
It's not humanitarian.
But our views align. So I was like mad confused. Like, you agree with me. You just don't like who I chose to be my guy for president.
Yeah.
So you're basically, when you say I'm voting for this person, you're basically saying, I believe this person has the best plan of action to make my life as free as I want it to be.
Yeah.
for the least amount of money as I
Yeah.
can do it with,
Mhm.
and or or give me more money or whatever.
It's not necessarily that you agree with every single thing they do.
You're not
Yeah.
going to.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
You
a
know-
lesser of two evils a lot of times.
Yeah. The
And
lesser of two evils.
Political, 100%.
And if
Yeah,
my
political
partner,
is 100% the lesser of two evils. I
Yeah.
mean, honestly.
I would be with a Democrat, and I even told her that. I'm like, if you want to go root for Bernie or Biden,
I mean, you
or,
love your dog, bro.
I mean, for real. Hashtag Dexter the Democrat. Yeah, right? Like, I'm like, I will help you make posters to support your candidate. I won't be marching alongside you, but I'll make sure you stay safe and I support you. And I'm gonna be like, hell yeah, that's my person fighting for her freedoms. Like, you go, bro.
If
Yeah.
you think that's your freedoms, if
I support you. I'm glad you stood up for something.
divorce, go vote for that person.
Yeah.
My best friend in the whole wide world votes different than me. Most of our views on life and what we want are the same.
Mhm.
A lot of them are the same, but he votes differently than me.
I mean, y'all root for the worst football team in the SEC, and I managed to be
No.
your friends. Like, you know,
Oh.
but can you imagine to put it into perspective if you were like, I'm going to come shoot this podcast, and I said, oh, cool. What football team do you root for? Oh no, sorry,
It's
we
the same
can't be
thing.
friends.
That is the same thing, but it
You're
sounds
Yeah.
dumb when you
right.
say it like
Doesn't
that.
it?
It
Like-
sounds ridiculous, and it
Yeah,
is.
that's crazy.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, bro. I never looked at it that way. But that
It's
is-
the same thing.
Yeah.
If you hammer it down just like you're saying,
It's
Yeah.
silly. It's that silly.
it is. And I love football. I love college football.
Yeah.
That's my favorite sport of all
of them.
time.
Yeah.
Out of all of them, college football season. I can't wait.
Yeah.
September 9th or September 1st. I think.
When do you play Alabama?
I'm not
Third
sure.
week in November.
Yeah, it's
We gotta wait that long. We gotta wait that long. for
I'm not
boys?
sure of the date. I know it's the third
Yeah.
week of November.
Third
I have to place
Saturday,
some bets
November.
on this game.
I ain't betting nothing against Alabama. Bro.
No.
Oh, see, you're smart. See,
Yeah,
you know
I
it.
ain't
You know it. You know
I've
last
been
year
watching
was a
football
fluke.
since I was
Yeah.
Right.
Saban's good. And
Yes,
Alabama's always good.
And
no
I'm
matter
a new
what.
college football fan, so I'm over here like just coming into the legacy. Like,
Are you?
there's some
Well, we can learn you
history.
something about.
Learn me something about what? You don't got no sense if you root for Tennessee. What you gonna teach me?
Well,
How to wear
see,
that?
We got
ugly-
loyalty.
That's what's crazy about it.
You gonna teach me how to wear that ugly orange? Like,
If you can get through the shitty stuff that we went through with Tennessee
and be a fan,
and still be a fan,
Yeah.
still. Damn.
I do
That's
hear that.
loyalty.
yeah.
That's
And
what
that's-
it's about for us. It don't have nothing to. It's all about.
They pissed me off more than anything. Pretty much
Yeah,
in that 3 month stretch there, I'm
Yeah.
pretty tore up.
most of the time in the
And
past
used to,
15
especially
years, yeah.
used to, it was like I would get so mad, wouldn't I, Brittany? I would be
I would stop
ticking.
watching.
I would be ticking bad watching that.
See, I'm
I
like
get-
that with NFL.
Are you?
Yeah, and with MLB with baseball. SEC, I mean, yeah, like I love college football, but since I didn't grow up in the South, like it's not ingrained in me.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're getting there though. I get more Southern by the day.
Yeah,
I had to explain to my son what
even
grits
some
were.
of the stuff you say is starting to get southern.
I
too.
called to my son the other day and said, I don't remember why we were talking about the Waffle House, but I said something about grits. He said, Mom, what's a grit? And I was like,
You're like, I don't,
How do I explain? I said
now
it's
that I think
like-
about it, but
it's
I don't know what grits are either, really.
like corn with
it's a
oatmeal.
corn mash.
Is
I
it?
don't know.
You
I
put
don't really
cheese
know.
in
I have
it?
no idea what grits are, bro.
Eat them for lunch, dinner, breakfast. It's the only thing you can get in a hurricane because the Waffle House is open.
That's right.
I was thinking about that. I was
Unless the
gonna
Waffle House is closed, and then it's a bad one.
Yeah, I was gonna make a TikTok about that, right? Because people be like, "Oh, you know, some weather's coming into Florida." No, it's not. I was just at the Waffle House. Like, what? Hurricane where?
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.